Hey everybody, it's finally Friday. And so, surprise, there's a video. Hello. So I'm starting to get a little anxious about my test, and I've been studying a lot and things are going well. I have my first class tomorrow. 9 to 5. So, working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Anyway, so I have questions. I have gone across all of my sites and picked questions from each of them. So keep asking your questions because I will periodically do these as I have some time on my hands. And so today I actually have 4 questions and a journal topic. So without further ado, the first question. Hashtag Kati FAQ. Is it bad to keep self-harm tools around because they make you feel comfortable, like a security blanket? I have no intention of using them, but I just feel better when they're around. It's very normal. Is it bad? That's the question, I guess. It's not bad. It's very normal. It's something that, to be honest, even if we're not going to use them, it makes us feel comfortable knowing they're there, just in case. And something I would challenge you to do if you're working with a therapist is to talk to them about this and start having the conversation around the fact that you do keep them and why you think that is. And then I would challenge you to leave them with your therapist for a week. Bring them in, give them to her and say, hey, can I get those back from you next week? And see how that feels. Because I do that a lot with my clients and slowly we're able to let go of them. And it's kind of a process. So be patient with yourself. Know that what you're feeling is completely normal. It's not bad. It's not shameful. It's just part of our recovery process, okay? Question number 2. Hi, Kati. This sounds a bit stupid, but I'm wondering if you can help me with this. I think I became depressed 10 years ago, most certainly the last 8, with very little break from it. The last year I've been working on trying to improve this with through socializing, hobbies, etc. It's been very challenging but helpful. The problem is I still feel down, alone, lost, and stupid most of the time, like I'm keeping my head just above water, which we've all kind of felt that, right? Like we're just barely hanging in there. Something just doesn't feel right, like the world is empty sort of. And the best way to explain it is that I wake up and the last thing I want to do is get up and drag myself through the day. But it's improved so much on wishing I was dead almost constantly. Well, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, things are still pretty bad. And so the main question that she's asking is, I don't know, my question is, if we have been depressed for such a long time, how do we know what's normal? My question is, if we have, I don't know if I've just lost touch with my reality or expect too much or something from life, but I don't have a therapist and I can't get one, etc. So what she's saying is she's been depressed for so long, it's almost like we forget what it's like to feel good and to like feel normal or happy. And that is really common. Oftentimes I find, and this is just my experience, there's no studies to back this up. Well, there might be, but I haven't researched it. But I think if clients have been depressed for more than 2 years, we often tend to forget what it was like to not be depressed. That's a long ass time. That's like, 365 days in a row. And we have to do it over and it's like, we don't even remember being like, today was great. Yeah. So I would encourage you, since you said you don't have a therapist and you can't get one, is there any way you can talk to your physician and maybe see a psychiatrist or join a group or get on my website and get support through that? Oftentimes we've been depressed for a very long time. Medication is a really good option as well as therapy. If there's any way you can find a therapist, because we all can get one, whether we're on a list or we're going to a community clinic, or it might just mean we have to talk to our parents about it. I know that sucks, but you deserve to feel better. And trust me, through medication and therapy, the best outcomes. That's like what research shows. The best outcomes come from medication and therapy. It doesn't mean you'll have to be on medication or that you have to be on it forever. That's just what the studies show. But even therapy alone is really, really beneficial and is a great first step. And I would encourage you to look into that because we forget how good we can feel. But if you can like dream into that happy land and imagine what it would be like, it's totally worth all the stress and the frustration and maybe the worry associated with starting to see a therapist. Because I promise we're not that scary. We're really not. We're just people, right? People that want to help people, which are usually nicer people, right? Okay. Question number 3. Hashtag Kati FAQ. I have an assignment from my wellness class. The class is about overall health of our body and mind. It's a required course to take for the college that I attend. For the assignment, we need to keep track of everything we eat and drink. We have to use this website and fill out all of our data. The website also counts our calories. I'm sort of freaking out because this is really, really triggering. I already have the feeling that I should restrict my eating and it's making everything really bad or much worse. I don't know what to do. Any suggestions? I hear this all the time. I've actually dealt with many of my clients doing this where they have like PE of some sort, whether it's high school or college, and they're required to write down what they eat and monitor everything and then report back. And it's horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And there are a couple things. So first of all, if you're seeing a therapist, have us write a letter. I've done that, oh my gosh, so many times. I actually have a form letter pretty much, and I just insert the different things because what I really say is it's detrimental to their recovery and their health as a person, and it is my request that you don't require them to do this portion of the assignment. These are some other options I think that might fulfill that requirement. So I took some time and tried to figure out what I thought would do, and depending on what your teacher will allow, sometimes they'll let you do something totally different. Like even if you share with your teacher and journal as part of your class on the recovery process and how you've realized that your body needs energy and what energy means and how it feels and stuff like that, I think that honestly, in my opinion, that's much more beneficial than us writing down everything we eat. I don't do that. I don't believe in that. I'm not a big fan. So I would either A, have your therapist take care of part of it for you, or B, and I guess these are both kind of happen at the same time, is talk to your teacher. They're really understanding. I know we're scared and we don't like to share with too many people, but they'll get it if we're honest. They're not going to get it if we do poorly and we don't tell them and we have trouble and then we just start decompensating and maybe our grades go down in general over all of our courses. So the sooner you can say something to them, the better, and the more honest we can be, the better. But remember, you don't have to share all the details. I would practice. I would write it down. What are the things you want them to know? I'm recovering from an eating disorder, so this is really triggering. Are there any other ways that I can, maintain my grade in class and keep my credits up? Are there ways that we can replace this with something else that might be more beneficial to me? And then just leave it at that. Sometimes you can even email if you're afraid to talk to them, but chances are they're probably going to want to talk to you face to face or get a letter from a doctor or therapist maybe too, just to make sure that everything's okay. So those are my ideas. I know many of you talked about that, so I hope that helps. And if any of you have had a class and you're like, oh my God, I did this, let us know so we can share with one another, right? Okay. Oh, question number 4. Why is EDNOS statistically the most deadly of eating disorders? Now, I assumed this, but I don't know if I actually know the stats on it. But I actually filmed a video about this, so stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it. EDNOS tends to be the most dangerous. That's what I always think. It's the most dangerous because it's a shapeshifter. We don't know always how to track it. Are they binging? Are they just purging? Are they binging and purging? Are they restricting? Are they what are they doing? Because it changes all the time. And often it goes undiagnosed and untreated for much longer. So that is why I believe that it's the most deadly, or to me the most dangerous of the eating disorders, is because it comes and goes, it changes a lot, and it can hang around for a lot longer than the other eating disorders. So it can go unnoticed longer. So if you yourself are worried and think, well, I don't quite fit into any criteria, so I don't think I have an eating disorder, you probably do. And you should definitely get help, because the sooner we get help, the better the outcome, right? So that's my those are my thoughts on that. Okay, journal topic. Now this is from one of you. So thank you all for sending in the journal topics, because it really helps me get more ideas and other options. And this one's really cool. So this person says, I thought it'd be a good journal topic / challenge. And she goes on to talk about how reality TV has become so much more popular than they ever anticipated. And people are so, even myself included, right? We're so addicted to being in people's drama and gossip and what's going on with them instead of living our own lives, right? A lot of us will spend a lot of time watching TV, being on the internet. We can become like super fans / stalkers of sorts, because we get so excited, right? And we're so involved in their life. We feel like we're part of their life. And it's a totally different thing than what television used to be in the past, right? It was never reality based. And so the challenge this is her challenge to us, and I'm going to do this myself, is try to avoid the excitement or sadness or even gossip that's so easy to become entwined in, and start pursuing something you've been thinking about that will be more personally rewarding. So what if, and maybe this is just a nice thing to journal about, what if you cut back on your reality TV or your social media, maybe 30 minutes today? Cut back on it a little bit, and then how do you feel about it? And what are things that are important to you that you haven't made the time for? Because I am really guilty of that. Like, there are so many things. Even the other day, I was driving on the freeway, and it was like some Cirque du Soleil, I think it's Totem it's called, is at the Santa Monica Pier, and I was like, oh, I've been really wanting to go see that, but I'm going to take my test, and like, right? But I should just fucking buy some tickets. Jeez, it's here. It's like 5 minutes from my house. That's crazy. So what are some things that you've been putting off that in those 30 minutes or hour or whatever that we cut down on that you can help yourself feel more fulfilled and more recharged, right? Have a wonderful weekend. I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. I will sporadically put out these videos, so make sure you're still asking your questions on my site. If any of you are out there and like, hey, Katie, I'd love to help and answer some questions, feel free to respond to people's comments on YouTube or Twitter or things that are more not so private. They're public questions. I welcome the help. That would be amazing. Other than that, I'll try to get through stuff as I can, but like I said, I'm taking my test March 8th, and I have to ace that son of a bitch, so I have to take it again. So I'll be on hiatus for a little bit, but I'm still around. I'm still reading all of your comments and questions. I just don't have all the time to answer them. Okay? I love you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye.